Good morning, good morning. So, back onto my conventional wisdom series. So conventional wisdom says that the recruitment process needs to be run by a company's internal processes and that HR knows best how to recruit. I'm going to upset a few people this morning, I think. Sorry, in almost all cases, the recruitment process run by HR just does not function effectively. HR are not specialist recruiters. They don't understand recruitment process. Managing HR issues, managing all sorts of factors in it. Maybe responsible for the HR process in terms of working with the people that are specialists at it, but they are not specialists themselves. So this is Jim Foster and Careers Matter. So in fact, most recruiters as well don't understand recruitment process, which might seem a little bit bizarre, but it's also true. And the thing with that is that there is different types, different levels, if you like, of recruitment. And most recruiters are very good at managing what I would call commoditized recruitment or I'll get there in a minute. Cutter recruitment. Oh, I know what you know what I mean. Template recruitment. Are pretty good at doing the template recruitment. So recruitment which is bash it in, bash it out. Where the skills and experiences are not particularly complex. There's nothing unusual in what the process that you're looking at, and really it is about assessing somebody that has done the job to see whether there's somebody you want to bring into your organisation, and very little more than that. The problem with that is that the HR process seems to think that goes for every job. And that you can simply template any job. You can't. As soon as you start getting into professional level people, into management level, senior management level especially, but into management level as well. Anybody that's got any specialist skills, experience, anybody that any job that is a little bit more involved, shall we say, where the functional need of that job is complex, then it needs a different process. Also, anywhere that you need to attract people from other organisations, headhunting, anytime that you really need to bring people into your organisation who are not readily available, shall we say, then you need something more specialised, and that's the process that's not really understood by most HR. They understand that there is a process. They understand that it needs specialist management. Most of them do, to be honest, and to be perfectly fair with you. But unfortunately, the way that they actually manage that recruitment suggests to me that they really don't understand the specialist needs that are, the specialist recruitment needs, the specialist skills of a good recruiter to actually do that. And they think they think they can still put it in a cost model where they are looking for cheap recruitment, where they're looking for people that can churn CVs. And they wonder why it can take them months on end sometimes to fill jobs, because they really don't get it. So, in essence, let me talk a little bit more about that recruitment process. You see, the fundamental need, the fundamental theme of recruitment. And this isn't really understood. And I actually read a blog that the other day that seemed to want to cut against this. It's quite an interesting blog because it was wrong. Is that recruitment process is not ostensibly a sales process, and it really is a sales process, because throughout every section of recruitment you're selling, and it is sales skills that are important. You may not be overtly selling as in give us a pound and you can have this. It's not that type of selling. What you're doing is you are using skills of persuasion. You are using skills to understand people, to follow. How can I put that? You're understanding what a person's motivation is. You're understanding what will drive them. You're understanding what will make them want to look at an opportunity. And you're working with them to show them and demonstrate the value of moving into a particular organisation, moving into a particular job. And this is all persuasion skills. And it cuts through the entire process. This isn't just about picking up the phone and going, "You want a job? Yeah, I got a job here." And you just have a look at how absolutely all recruitment process that I see overtly is exactly that. You want a job? I've got a job here for you. You want a chicken? Have a chicken. It isn't that process. If you want to get somebody out of the job that they're in, you've got to give them a reason to want to move. And if there isn't a reason for them to want to move, they ain't going. And those are the skills that are associated with proper, real recruitment. The fact of the matter are, consider yourself. You're in a good job. You're in a job, particularly in this environment where the perception is that jobs are going to be hard to come by. And that if you move into a different organisation, the risks are going to be greater. And of course, the principle of last in, first out. So there's a lot of fear associated with move at the moment. So why is anybody going to move in this environment without a very, very good reason? And so what do I find? I find HR want to bring people in a salary bracket, in a banded salary where there is no consideration for the fact that they're moving out of a job in a similar banded salary. So there's going to be no uplift for the person coming. There's no financial motivation, and it isn't all about financial motivation. Of course, it isn't. It's the motivation to move jobs. It comes probably finance is about fourth or fifth on the list, and I will do a blog on this, or a video blog on this another day, but it's about fourth or fifth on the list of motivation to actually want to move job. The fundamental reason why people will move from a job, the biggest reason, is people. If you don't get on with the people you're working for, you ain't going to move. You're going to move. You're going to want to move. If you really, really, really get on with the people, and there's nothing that's compelling you to move away from them, not going to happen. Almost certainly not going to happen unless there is something about this other job that is compelling to you, that's going to hit another buying motive, we'll call it, because it's, as I said, it's sales. And that is a process that's not understood at all by HR. They may pay lip service to it sometimes, but when you look at the processes that they want to run, they don't get it. They want to package people, and they want to keep them in that banding package, and they want to and they've got to fit their idea of what the ideal candidate needs to be, etc., etc. This is nothing to do with understanding the person that's going to come in and understanding what it is going to be needed to attract that person to come to your organisation and for that person to want to be part of your company, and that whole process is missed, and that is why so much recruitment in the complex area of recruitment fails miserably. It's relatively easy to fill up your more junior roles, the ones which are cookie cutter, that's the word, that are cookie cutter type roles, and I don't want to demean any of that. It's just that they're not complex. There are people that do those things, and there are plenty of people that do those things, and it's not complex, the things that they do. There are other reasons or other ways of selling and buying people at that level, but because it is a pretty much a template recruitment, they're easy to do, and that does not match into the area of the complex recruitment, the shortage, the rare skills in high demand and in short supply. That's where you start getting to the need of really needing to persuade people there is something in them moving from the company that they're in, having a really good living where they are, enjoying the job that they're doing, into a new organisation where, to be frank, they don't know anything about it. So so what's compelling? Why is there a compelling reason for that person to move into that company? Doesn't and believe me, this is absolutely the facts. I'm dealing with a company, from a recruitment sense at the moment. I'm not going to mention who they are, obviously, but they just want to commoditise the entire process. Throw me a load of CVs. We'll find somebody. We've got to have this skill in it. We've got to have that particular. If somebody doesn't have exactly that in it, just back off a little bit. Just the more you squeeze your hand, the more good people will escape from that grasp, as it were, until you're so limiting yourself on who might be able to do that job that you're going to be looking for an awful long time to find it. Yesterday I talked about defining the JR, the job requisition, the job description, and the fact that companies don't spend time. And this is fundamental to the whole thing, is that companies don't spend time really assessing the need of the job and the type of person that they want to bring in for it and the function that person's going to do, and therefore and then on the other side, what they need to do to attract that person in. They don't spend the time there. It's a commodity. It's a cookie cutter process, and it doesn't work at a complex level of recruitment. So I hope that's it may have upset a few people along the way there, but I'm not saying it lightly. This is how I see the recruitment industry. And this is James Foster and Careers Matter.